Look at the moon.
Oh my god, this is definitely not normal.
What's up, Blue Crew? What's up, Green Giants? What's up, Ledger Citizens? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Guys, welcome to another DLTalk. Appreciate everybody who's in here. Shout out to everyone. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I appreciate you guys hitting the likes on the way in. I appreciate any new subs, any new members to the channel. Helps us keep the momentum building here. Guys, if you didn't notice, we have our safari hat. We're looking for the tigers. Where are the tigers out there? That's what we're doing. We're trying to keep an eye out for the tigers. Give me a moment, guys. I forgot to plug in my battery charger, of course. So give me one moment to just do that with my laptop. Give me a sec. Alrighty, thank you guys for your patience with that. Always weird to start off a stream that way, but anyways, thank you guys. Let me know how the video, the audio, and everything is coming through. Hopefully it's going well for you guys. We got Mike in Clown World on the stream. We got Island Ghost in the house. What's up, Island Ghost? Sad to see your inner ledger or your Green Giant status go away, but here's your Blue Wrench. Welcome back to the Blue Crew. Here we go. Bam, bam. We got Smelted Delta, extra large money. What's up? Miles P, Profit takers chilling. Dude, exactly, man. That's why we have a Tradle portfolio. And once again, you know, we did speculate downside pressure and what's the worst case scenario. We're still actually on this upward trend line, believe it or not, on the daily. We dipped beneath it, bought back up. We'll see what ends up happening here. The next level would be around 34 cents, I think. Seeing XRP go to 34 cents. We'll see what ends up happening from here, but you know, it's still higher than where we were a month ago, you know, pre-clarity, right? So I'm interested to see where this goes. You know, some people are saying it's a shakeout before a pump. We'll see. We think it's clearly oversold. The indicators are showing MACD. Selling pressure is going to be easing up. Stock RSI volume should be coming in sometime soon. So maybe this is a fake out before a nice little rise up to maybe $1.10, $1.25, something like that. That's where I think our next resistance would be. And I'm interested to see what would happen from there. But definitely a big, you know, once again, the reason this is happening too isn't even because of XRP, right? Or disinterest in XRP or anything like that. It's because of all the other surface level stuff around it, right? And crashing BTC does help, right? SpaceX selling some BTC does help. They're trying to manipulate the price for XRP clearly. They just keep maintaining it at around $1 trillion. But once again, what did Kathy Wood say? Did we bring the Thunder Goddess in today? We got to, man. When you got the eye of the tiger, and we're looking for tigers today, are there any tigers out there? Or are we all just going to be like boorish bears and just be like, oh, it's going to go lower. It's just going to keep going down. This is the end, you know? Well, that's why we don't put more than we can afford to lose. And that's why we're holding in long term on some of these digital assets like an XRP, like an XLM, SHX. I'm still liking my bags. I'm still liking what's going on in the crypto markets, man. Like, especially after being around for a good bit, you know, just major dips like these, I get excited. I bought that dip yesterday. I jumped in, bought the dip on SHX big time. Bought the dip on SHX, bought the dip on XX because we're going to be getting an XX Spaces that's coming up today. XX talking on, you know, about being on XRPL. I'm liking XX at 10 cents. I'm liking it at 5 cents. Wherever this is going, I'm liking that this is a project that's building with the XRPL and it's in the deep reds. You know, the deep reds are just looking fantastic. Algo looking really good. Quant under $100 again. Quant, we're kind of holding out though. We're going to see if Quant maybe goes to like 50, maybe even $25. We'll see. For some reason, we feel bearish more so than overall bullish, but we should feel very bullish with QNT and definitely have a position, especially when it's right across the board like this. And it's such a low supply crypto. They launched their Overledger network, right? So Quant building things, you know, connections with XRP, Ripple through the Digital Pound Foundation, doing the CBDC stuff, you know, excited to see what ends up building out there for sure. HBAR, we may see HBAR at low 5 cents again. HBAR has been holding strong despite the FUD. Same with XRP. I mean, 50 cent XRP, guys, we were at 36 or 34 cents like a month ago. You know, yes, we get high volatility and then it just started coming down. And you know, hey, we're victims sometimes. We get emotionally excited about the price movement, right? Overall, my overall perspective is bullish, right? So yeah, sometimes maybe we sound a little bit more excited, but once again, what do we say? We don't chase pumps, right? They're either good profit taking in the Tradle portfolios or, you know, but for us, like even for me, we're in uncharted territory. Like, holy crap, we got XRP clarity. I don't know what to expect from here, right? So it was hard to do some Tradle stuff with XRP. But for other cryptos, which we were starting to go, okay, XDC looks like it's a laggard. Let's, like, you know, build up a little Tradle position there, you know, HBAR, so on and so forth. And we're hoping, you know, same here with Algo. Algo's been a major laggard in this past bullish momentum. I'm interested to see if Algo is going to have its like own day sometime soon, and I can't believe it. They want to keep giving us this opportunity. I guess they heard about our ambitions of wanting to be a part of the castle, and they were just open to it. They're like, here, you know what? We welcome you, Blue Crew. Thank you, Stronghold. Thank you, the manipulators of the market. This has nothing to do with the Stronghold technology, has nothing to do with SHX. Just, you know, BTC maxis getting hella scared about XRP, mass adoption on the way, and the XRP revenge tour. And they're trying to crash BTC to influence the price of XRP and other cryptos. And I love the way that it affects the SHX token because, you know, the price here is nothing about the protocol. Right, so this is a tremendous, you know, we've speculated hell. We could see 000-100 super worst case scenario, but we're still buying these dips. We're jumping in on the deep red, on the blue castle. I want some more real estate in that blue castle. You know, we got XX network here as well. Energy web token still looking great. I mean, the blue crew top 11. Who would have thought we would see such deep reds in it? But that's how it's looking for a lot of cryptos in the market. Hell, in the past 30 days, actually, RPM's going to love this. In the past 30 days, the king crypto has been XDC on the Blue Crew top 10. Look at that RPM. Aren't you so proud? 57% in the past 30 days. And in the past 90 days, 71%, 31% for XLM, XRP, 7%. But XRP did have that one big ass green candle that took it from what, 34-35 cents up to 95 cents or so in one day. XDC kind of built up this momentum over time, so it's interesting. One of them just took a little bit longer to grow to that point. The other one just shot its load instantly. Wayside, what's up, man? Good to see you. Much love to you, bro. Rye guy in the house. Yeah, we got our coffee here too. Let's take a sip. I'm looking forward to this XX Spaces, guys. If you guys aren't on Twitter, there's going to be spaces with XX Network talking about XX on XRPL. If you guys want to join in with me, represent the Blue Crew, we're going to be jumping in there. And I don't know. I don't really have any questions in mind. I'm just interested to hear what they're going to be saying, and we'll be streaming it here. But I'll be using my phone to, you know, participate in the spaces if need be. If we get a good question from the Blue Crew, and you guys can let me know what questions you guys are thinking of in the chat, of course. Guys, thanks for the 14 likes, the 15 viewers. If we can get to 20 likes before this spaces, that would be amazing. You know, just keep spreading awareness to the XRPL community about, you know, about XX network here and privacy, right? Privacy that, you know, we'll give some context. We got to do some context stuff here with XX network, because this is really what this video is about. Yes, we could go over a lot of news like we usually do with the BIS and all that stuff, and maybe we have time to do that. But right now, this is about, you know, we're in the deep reds. We're in the deep thick of things. I'm liking XX network here at 10 cents, 68% down on the year. We got the spaces happening here today. And if we just look a little bit into the history with Elixir, here's a good starting point. It's about Ripple, Chris Larsen investing in Elixir blockchain, right? Chris Larsen, co-founder of Ripple, invested in Elixir, a blockchain firm launched by David Chaum, a cryptographer who invented eCash, Bitcoin's precursor. Larsen praised Chaum's vision of a consumer-oriented blockchain that can process hundreds of thousands of quantum-resistant transactions while using only a tiny bit of energy required to process Bitcoin transactions. So Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen investing in this project, Elixir, right? That's really what XX is. It's actually called the Elixir, but we could just call it XX Network because that's the, you know, the blockchain, and Elixir is the firm, right, representing. Elixir's aim to fulfill Satoshi's visions. Elixir is able to process hundreds of thousands of quantum resistance transactions while only using a tiny bit of energy. When the project started back in 2016, it had the primary goal of fulfilling Satoshi Nakamoto's vision of a decentralized platform for messaging and transactions without dealing with speed and scaling related issues. According to Elixir, the company has more than 1,500 parties interested in its nodes and 500 developers interested in creating apps on the platform. Ripple's co-founder wants to give people the chance to build wealth by investing in products that can create a sustainable future. David Chaum has been a defender of privacy in the digital world for almost 40 years. I am proud to be an early backer of Elixir and look forward to seeing this consumer-facing blockchain open the door to secure use by millions of individuals in their daily lives. You know, so he stated that XRP and similar digital assets could play a massive role in strengthening the global economy and helping prevent the next financial crisis. So here we go. Here we go. Right. So a little bit more context right there, the Ripple connections, and hence why it's so impressive within the first year with the Elixir and XX network to be seeing, you know, and also not a surprise, right, to be seeing XX network having this collaboration with the XRPL and Ripple due to the, you know, early funding from Chris Larson as well. I think we got a Swiss National Bank, right, talking about XX network. We'll see. Let me see. Was it the Swiss National Bank? Or should I type down XX network? Let me see. Yeah, here we go. David Chom to work on CBDC with BIS Swiss National Bank. Today, the BIS Innovation Hub Center announced the new central bank digital currency research project, Project Turbulent, with David Chom, a cryptographer and founder of eCash, a form of digital cash piloted in the 1990s, together with Thomas Moster and alternate board of the Swiss National Bank. Chom published a paper on eCash 2.0. The key features of the solution are cyber resiliency, including from quantum computers, scalability, and privacy. The two authors wrote another paper last year which shares many of the same features we explored more deeply. Privacy and anonymity are the most challenging demands of a CBDC. eCash is capable of anonymous payments. However, to receive the cash, the consumer must go through a KYC process. The clever feature is that even though the commercial bank and central banks authorize you to receive the CBDC, they can't identify the coins. Comparing it to a banknote, you know the serial numbers of your notes, but the banks don't. This is a strong solution to the issues of the transaction privacy and anonymity. However, today anyone can acquire physical cash from another person. They don't need a bank or a central bank permission. Like most CBDCs, the government is not so benevolent. The central bank could prevent a consumer from accessing eCash to digital money. So interesting to hear, you know. So this is a little bit of context, you know, going into this XRP XX on XRPL Privacy Matters podcast that we're going to be checking out. I'm excited to hear it, and hopefully some Blue Crew can show some love, you know, because this is a project not many, you know, YouTubers even talk about to begin with, and not enough XRP community YouTubers acknowledging, right? Marvin Davis, sub G in the Blue Crew. What's up, man? RPM. Wonder if I can move my XX off MXC tomorrow. It said 3 to 5 days. What the heck is that? Dude, RPM, hopefully you get to move it off, man. I've been able to just send it to my Explorer wallet. But maybe since it's your first investment in it, or first time with like MXC or something like that, I don't know. Maybe that's why it's taken a good bit. Hopefully it withdraws for you soon, man. Quantum computing is a long way off. Don't believe the hype. Interesting, Rudy. All right. I mean, hell, but it's on the XRPL though, right? So if we're bullish on XRP, we really do want the success of this to happen, right? We do want XX to have success since XRPL, Ripple's invested in it, right? We want things that Ripple is invested in to grow because we're invested in XRP, right? Sounds good. Island Ghost, I don't think it's as far off as you think. Lurking like a MF. What's up, Sniff? Good to see you. Sniff's just waiting for the GDLT token giveaway, so he's just like researching and trying to guess what number I'm gonna throw out this time to figure it out. He's just looking to hoard GDLT token. Gerald in the house. What's up, Gerald? Miles P. He's saying 30 cent XRP, please. He's like, give me some 30 cent XRP. I mean, that's not out of the range of possibilities. I think 34, right? 35, 34 could be in the range of outcomes here. I mean, and then we get Darcy's 10-cent prophecy, right? But if we hit 10 cents, Darcy, is it going to wick up like right away? It's just going to be at 10 cents for like a moment? Or are you seeing like 10 cents for like multiple days, weeks, right? I'm interested to hear what Darcy has to say about this. Just give Sniff the GDLT token now. Yeah, exactly. Just skip the giveaway. Just give it to Sniff. He works so hard for the GDLT token. I dare not buy more XX in case the timer starts over again, huh? Yeah, oh dude, RPM, I hear you. Yeah, you don't want to restart that timer because now you added some more. You want to just like have that timer over with, and then from now on when you're purchasing XX, like you could just send it and do your thing. But yeah, don't be surprised, you know, yeah, maybe we go to 34 cents, which would be such a bummer, obviously. Such sad days, like should have definitely taken more profit off the table, you know, for maybe even our HODL portfolio, but we never touched the HODL portfolio. We only touched the Tradle portfolio. And in Tradle portfolio, that was definitely a clear sign of profit taking. Once again, you know, and hopefully we're all learning from these experiences, right? With the pumps, the type of euphoria, the over the top amount of bullishness and sentiment that comes in. Hell, this channel, you know, you could just tell during the sideways bloody days, we have the real tigers here, and we're looking for the real tigers. We got our Safari on today, and we see who the real tigers are because they're jumping in the chat, they're tuning in, they're hitting the like, they're doing all this good stuff. Appreciate y'all. Always grateful for the support. So yeah, we're looking out for the tigers, and those are the people who are like, okay, hey, it's Fred, so you know, is this buy the dip? Are we looking for opportunities, or should we wait a little bit longer on some of these cryptos, right? We got Tim Shea as a tiger. We got Full of XRP. They're the wrench tigers, right? Rudy, I'm all for crypto, but truth in crypto is crucial to our well-being, and without a doubt. I mean, we all bring our own perspective to this channel, and that's what makes us, you know, such a strong community here. And once again, guys, you know, I'll never tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, right? I'm always wrong, and the blue crew is always right. And hell, man, you had me in the past, like, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks saying the bears are weak as fuck, and then the bears just try to do a bull rush, right? They try to just like freaking, they went all out blitz. The bears just went all out blitz on the community here. They freaking, you know, sank BTC to manipulate XRP's price. I'm interested to see what's going to be happening from here. I'm not going to make any speculation. I still think the bears are weak as fuck, but we'll see what ends up happening. You know, if we go to 34 cents, I mean, I'm like, okay, well, bears, you got a sack on this play, but we're going to still freaking, you know, push down the field for a touchdown, you know. You guys can tell I'm looking forward to football season coming up. Truth and transparency gets defined in the GDLT channel. Rudy, shout out to you, man. Gerald in the house. I say wait, bags packed for a long time, for long, fatter bags. Yeah. I mean, it's always a good idea to have that side stash of, you know, fiat, especially, you know, in case it does dip like this, right? I was lucky that I just like was random. I was like, huh, I haven't checked the charts today in a good bit. And so yesterday I was lucky to find it at like 46 cents or so, right? And so I decided to add on to the bags. I was like, okay, this is a random ass red candle. I don't know what happened. I don't even care what happened. I didn't even look for news. Isn't that funny? I just saw the price go down and I was like, oh, I'm buying. Because that's how much faith I have in like the XRPL, that there was probably no negative news that it was about XRPL or like, you know, something that was compromising the project or anything like that, right? The mission still stays the same with XRP. So I saw that at 46 cents. I bought right away. And then I started looking at news and, you know, finding out, you know, multiple, you know, just BTC crashing. I guess SpaceX has something to do with it. SEC approving Ethereum is to approve Ethereum ETFs, like all this crazy stuff, man. But we're 5 minutes away from the spaces, guys. We're going to jump into it. See if they've already preloaded it, maybe for people to jump on in. Packing and stacking, Rye Guy, I like that. I like that, man. Hell yeah. That's what it's about. See if we can tune in. Here, I'll share it with you guys. If anybody wants to jump in and join us. I mean, that's when we wait to buy, right? We don't chase the pumps. We don't FOMO and get emotional. So, you know, when XRP started pumping and XLM started pumping, what did we start doing? We started looking for other opportunities, right, around it. And we saw things like XDC. We saw things like HBAR, right? So now that we're going into the deep reds again, I mean, these are the opportunities, dude. Like, I'm so excited that we got another opportunity at SHX 3 under, you know, 400 or in like 380, 360. I was like, holy cow. Yes, nothing's going wrong with SHX and Stronghold. It's just the BS stuff that's going on in this crypto market, and I'm all for it. Give me, you know, they really want Blue Crew to be like majority in dictating the future of SHX, and I'm all for it. We're going to do it, Blue Crew. Look at that juicy algo G. I mean, dude, 9 cents. Just chipping away at algo right here at these low ranges, building up those staking positions. Like, dude, same thing with AVAX, Avalanche. We may get a $9 Avalanche. We may get a $9, $8, $5 Avalanche. Like, holy cow. Yeah, these are the days, guys. These are the days, because 2-3 years from now, holy cow. Like, is HBAR going to be at 5 cents? Seriously? 3 years from now, 4 years from now? I don't think so. Is XDC going to be at 5 cents 3 years from now, 4 years from now? We need to get Kathy here before we get into the spaces, guys. Let's just have Kathy remind us all what's going to be happening in the next, you know, 5 to 7 years. Here we go. You guys know what's up. The Blue Crew knows what's ready. Let's stop the music here. Here we go. What is that? What is that, Kathy? Tell us again. Oh, did he... Wait, where is it? Oh, the tweet. Oh, his account got suspended. No way. Damn, that sucks, dude. His account got suspended because of how bullish Kathy Woods was on... Dude, that clip, he was probably sharing too much truth, man. Funky Fresh. Shout out to you, man. I didn't know your account got suspended, man, for XRPville. Shout out to the XRPville YouTube channel if you guys don't know about that. I'd check it out. I've seen loads come in at 80 cents, also in crying their way down. Noobs chasing pumps. Exactly, RPM. It's just a bunch of noobs chasing pumps. We did not chase the XRP at 95 cent pump, right? We did purchase a little bit of XRP on Coinbase because we just wanted to celebrate and like be like, yes, we finally got this freaking, like, this is real, right? Sharing too much garbage, and we're about to go into a garbage session right here. We're going into the deep garbage on the XRP ledger. Tune in like a minute or so. Here we go. Sit back, enjoy the show, enjoy the rise of garbage. Here we go.
Look at the moon.
Oh my god, this is definitely...
All right, this is definitely not normal. Definitely not normal to be sharing this much garbage. And speaking of garbage, let's do this thing. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if this Spaces is up and running. We want to join. There we go. Let's go. Let's go, Blue Crew. Oh, it's saying it's still setting up. I guess we got to wait the full minute for it to open up. Could we only jump in on our phone? We can't jump in like on desktop? That would be terrible. I think it'll let us know when they're officially live, right? Let's see. Yeah, reminders set. It's 11 a.m. Come on, guys. There we go. Start listening. Let's go, guys. Oh, King Solomon's in on this. Let's go. Let's go, King Solomon. All right, hopefully you guys can hear it. Yes, this is wonderful, guys. Dude, we got XRP Darren in this chat. Holy cow. I got to show you guys just the window here. I mean, should I just show the window or should I show like something else, like a fiat leak in the background or something?
What's up, everybody? Bear with us for a couple of seconds here. I want to thank XX for hosting today. Obviously, should be a pretty interesting discussion. Darren and myself are going to be co-hosting up here, discussing the recent announcement from August 8th of the XX network, creating XX coin and IOU issuance on the XRP ledger. So just give us a couple minutes here as we kind of get everybody up here on the panel.
Awesome. Do you guys hear it all right, by the way, in the chat? I don't think I'm going to request to speak.
Test. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine, Aaron.
Yep, you sound good.
Right on.
So if you're new to XX or you just heard about XX, there is the XX network, and then there's a privacy solution called CMIX. And in order to use the privacy solution, it's payable with XX tokens. And CMIX is kind of like a layer 2. It's kind of integrated with XX. So there's some interesting dynamics at play. And in order to use the privacy network, you need XX tokens to use it. So
yeah, we will get started here just in a second. I mean, if you guys want to do some deeper dives into some of the other aspects, obviously take a look at some of David Schaum's work. You can take a look at kind of the foundations and the founding within the Elixir aspects. And, you know, we kind of always do like to start these spaces off with a little bit of an introduction into who's up here on the panel, at least from the hosting standpoint. So maybe we just kind of run through here for those of you that may be new, listening down in. Maybe we'll start with, let's start with Aaron. Aaron, if you could give maybe just an intro and a background of yourself, what brought you into crypto, what brought you into the XX ecosystem, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, so my name is Aaron Wellwood. I am a director on the XX Foundation board. The XX Foundation is the supporting entity behind the XX network. So we fund core development on the network. There is another core development team called Elixir that also does, dApp development and network support of core features. One of those guys is actually here today listening. I can see him there. Rick, I see you. We're probably going to invite you up at some point. But yeah, I've been in the crypto space since 2017. I wish it was earlier, but when I finally kind of started researching it, all the sirens started going off in my mind about how important all this technology is for the future. And I jumped in, head first, driving my wife crazy, staying up till like 2-3 in the morning, researching like everything I could. I've always been a big kind of closet techie nerd. And I started running nodes in various ecosystems and ended up researching, of course, about David Schaum and what he was doing with the XX network. And yeah, that's quite a few years ago now. But I started running nodes on that network, actually, and in like the beta net. And through that whole process, I ended up, long story short, working for the foundation and now actually a board member on the our director on the board there. So it's been a pretty amazing journey of a testament to how cryptocurrency is such a collaborative effort. And if you have passion and drive to go and be a part of this world-changing technology space, you can actually do it. And it's been a pretty exciting journey. So that's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron. If we could get an intro into Bernie, from the XX standpoint, that would be fantastic. What brought you into crypto? What led you into the XX ecosystem as well?
Yeah, I've been I mean, in crypto pretty much since 2015, 16, and started working at XX pretty early, so early 2019, 1 year into founding, basically. And yeah, I'm the main blockchain architect of the network. So, like you explained very well, we have kind of two networks in one. There's the blockchain, and then there's CMIX, which we can see it's kind of like as a layer 2 for privacy protection. But yeah, Elixir is the company developing that side of things, and at the foundation, we're more focused on developing the blockchain and quantum security features on the blockchain and that sort of stuff. So that's basically what I've been focused on for the past 4 or 5 years.
Awesome. Thank you, Bernie. So I know on August 8th, and to give a purview for everybody down there listening, we're kind of going to be going through the announcement that you guys made on August 8th, talking about some of the future implications. I should preface all of this by saying any aspects of financial advice, do your own research into what XX is building, do your own research into the privacy aspects of CMIX as well. But on August 8th, you guys had an announcement. We're thrilled to announce an exciting opportunity for all of us to come together and make something extraordinary happen. So an issuance of XX on the XRP ledger. I guess, first and foremost, I think most people are probably interested in the why. Why would there be an issuance moving over from XX onto the XRPL, and what are some of the potential future implications within that as well? So anybody that kind of wants to start and kick us off in that regard, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail here. That'd be great.
Yeah, I guess I can. So, yeah, we're introducing the XX coin on the XRPL. There's actually a lot of reasons why we wanted to do our first bridge to XRPL. Now, we had plans to do, and still have plans to do, bridging to other networks, with the intention that we can bring the value of privacy and security to those other networks and collaboratively work with other developers to build applications and integrate into those systems to offer the properties that we have through CMIX, the CMIX technology that was, developed by David Chaum a long time ago, actually, back in the 80s. And it's one of the key components, what we would essentially call part of our hybrid, layer 1, layer 2 solution with the XX networks, the layer 1 being our blockchain, and the layer 2 being CMIX. Both of those things run on the nodes that operate the network in a decentralized way across the world. There's 370 nodes, and they all run the blockchain and CMIX. So if we use CMIX in applications in the other ecosystems, that will lend those types of properties of privacy and security to those networks. Maybe those networks wouldn't otherwise have this type of capability. In most cases, they won't. So that is really the core of why we're doing it. Another big reason is we have actually a fairly large number of people in the XRP community that, are very interested in the XX network, probably having to do with various things. One of our seed investors is Chris Larson, which is publicly known. He's, periodically posted about us in the past. So there's a pretty significant connection there. And also, Ryan and Darren know a lot of people in that community as well. And through all the relationships that we fostered over the last few years, that's led to building relationships in that community. So it seemed, I guess, a natural progression of that relationship to bridge there. Also with the fact that we really love a lot of the things that the XRPL and Ripple are doing across the world in the financial system. I'll leave it at that. I could go deeper, but I'll leave it at that. And if anybody else has any comments about it, feel free to speak up.
Darren, I know that you have some thoughts around, certainly all the privacy aspects, and knowing that witness servers are, what we kind of hear of as federated side chains are certainly coming as well. So I don't know if you want to expand on that at all, but I mean, this might be, from your guys' standpoint, looking at bringing something like this onto the XRP ledger, is the implication then down the line that there would be something that would be occurring on a federated sidechain or witness server? There's a lot more programmability, obviously, within that aspect, where you kind of use XRPL as a layer 0, and then anybody that wants to integrate privacy solutions or leverage CMIX on top of that from a decentralized application standpoint can do things like that as well. I don't know if anybody wants to maybe dig a little bit deeper into that as far as what might be coming down the pike for you guys after just the issuance on the mainnet.
Yeah, so some of the thought process around the decision was the idea that XRP is going to, and well, may, if the UNLs vote and it actually happens, right, that you'd be able to have side chains of the XRP ledger. So you'd have XRP kind of as a layer 0 between different chains. And if we were able to set up a trustless bridge, and that means having XX IOUs being able to come back to the mainnet and be convertible for XX mainnet tokens, right, then you'd be able to have privacy on demand, right? You'd be able to swap one token for the other, right? So that's kind of was the thinking behind it. I mean, a lot of this, if you look at the root network and how they kind of designed how they're tapping into like the crypto liquidity hub of the XRP ledger as it becomes more and more liquid, right? And you'd be able to have some type of mechanism to tap into the liquidity of the XRP ledger, and that's what the XRP ledger was really designed for, right? So having an XX IOU on the XRP ledger is certainly falls into that area. So with side chains and the automated market maker, those things coming in the future, those things come, then we're looking to take advantage of that. Now, just for example, like let's say you wanted to have a fiat on ramp where you just put in your credit card information for $5, right? You just want to buy $5 of something, use something instantaneously. That works best with the automated market maker, right? Because there's no bid ask. It just instantaneously swaps one token for the next. So that's something that we're thinking about as far as to use some of the applications that we have, right? The utility is the key with the with CMIX and the XX network. We're looking for privacy, right? And maybe not everybody is able to get the tokens, and it's not accessible to everyone. So having tokens that are accessible to people are key to using the network. And yeah, well, I'll leave it at that. We can continue. If Bernie has anything he wants to add.
Yeah, no, what you said makes a lot of sense. So with postage, you are able to basically buy extra CMIX bandwidth with native XX coin, let's say, right? So what you're explaining makes perfect sense, where you want to branch out into different networks. Like CMIX itself can be used as a generic protocol. So you can use it to send any data via CMIX, and it protects the privacy. That data can be transactions on any blockchain, really, or it can be messaging like we have with XX Messenger or Speakeasy. But the part where you pay for that, right? That part, if it's only on native XX, then you're telling people, oh, you're limited to using this coin to pay for that. So obviously, if you get out there and you have XX IOU, and you could have XX as a wrapped token on EVM chains in the future, all that sort of stuff, you can then feed back into native XX, right? So anyone can use any token to purchase for this privacy service. That's like the future goal that we are trying to head to, right? And yeah, I think it's very exciting, and we're definitely going to try and work towards that.
Right. So if you have an XXIOU, right, there would be disadvantages at first, right? You can't, like XX, you could stake XX tokens and earn a reward. You can use it for CMIX and those things, right? But the XXIOU needs to be convertible back to XX mainnet. So the sidechain is really essential for this to really run smoothly. So, these are amendments that are being voted on by XRP's UNL. So hopefully they pass. And if not, there's probably always a workaround. But just being able to convert one wrap token or IOU or any of the tokens back into mainnet token is what's going to give us utility. So privacy on demand, kind of like liquidity on demand. Privacy on demand is something essential, and you may not want you may not want to make like a sizable thing into anything. You just always buy micro payments to use for a privacy network. So
yeah, and I know in the announcement that was on here from the 8th, it talks about, maybe Darren, for some of the XX community, talks about the uniqueness of the XRP ledger in and of itself. So not even just the witness servers or the witness server or servers that are coming down the pike. Can you talk about the uniqueness of the XRP ledger, why it might make sense instead of just additional centralized exchanges that obviously have ridiculous kind of listing fees, things like that? What kind of properties does the XRP ledger in and of itself kind of represent, and why would that make sense?
Did you ask me or Aaron?
Whoever, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe, I mean, you're deep into the trenches with the XRP ledger forever. So, I mean, if you want to kind of start.
I think Darren makes more sense on this one. I could speak on it, but Darren, you definitely are more knowledgeable.
The DEX, right? So you have an order book DEX. So it's that quality is something that we're looking for. I mean, so for you to get listed onto an exchange, I'm not sure if people are aware of this, but exchanges want outrageous amounts of money to get listed onto an exchange. Well, if you see a group of people that are interested in the token and there's a DEX listed in the group's token that they're all interested in, it just naturally makes sense that you would have some type of token availability for that group of people. So that's really one of the largest causes. Like why would we launch on these centralized exchanges that are unethical, first of all, unethical and immoral, asking for well, I'll just leave it at that. Some of these exchanges are unethical and immoral, yet people want accessibility to the XX token to use CMIX, to use privacy on demand, right? So they want access to this network that gives them privacy, but the accessibility isn't there. So instead of going through a centralized exchange, why not just go through the decentralized exchange? That's why it's there from the get-go, right? So, having the XXRU/XX mainnet pair is going to be 1-for-1. You'd be able to swap it on demand. So that's really why we're seeing the XRP ledger is one of the best fits for what we're trying to do. Not to mention, if the DEX has been around for forever. I mean, this is before Uniswap has even existed. So the liquidity on the DEX, I mean, it may not be number one, but it's certainly not, it's no slouch, it's certainly picking up. So I think we should be pushing everyone at crypto to be more DEX native. And people should understand how to use DEXs and want to use DEXs more so than centralized exchanges. These are minute fees that you pay on the DEX. Well, I just did a swap for something on a centralized exchange. They wanted $2 or $3 for the swap that I did. They wanted $1 for one swap, $1 for another swap, $1 for a swap. Right? It's the XRP ledger is a fraction of a penny. Right? So it just makes perfect sense from our standpoint. And then you get into this once you're on something like the XRP ledger that's focused for payments, focused for liquidity management. Think about the use case of payments plus privacy, right? So I own a business. When I send somebody an invoice, right, it usually has sensitive data in it. Has my EIN number, my social security number, might have my routing number to my bank, all of my banking information. So, if you're able to send a message or a contract through a privacy means with payment instructions on it, right, that are also quantum resistant and all the things that XX and CMIX offer, that's scalable, happens in 2 seconds. You're able to send this information over in 2 or 3 seconds. I forget exactly what it is, but it's barely noticeable. You can really come up with some interesting use cases as far as privacy plus payments are concerned.
Yeah, and well, I mean, another thing to consider is that we consistently talk about maintaining your own assets in this space, and if you're leveraging your assets on the decentralized exchange, there's ways to obviously still maintain self-custody of your assets, let alone the fact that when you're on a centralized exchange, that pretty much goes out the window right away because you're not even custodying your assets anyway. So another thing to kind of think about here is, seeing this type of announcement, and obviously the XRP community, and I'm sure the XX community as well, has to be thinking in their heads like, well, what are the implications of this? Why would this be happening? I think the XRP community is vast, and there's probably multiple different interpretations of something like this. Are there plans to support developers on the XRP ledger in the future that might be wanting to leverage the use case of a federated or a witness server or a federated sidechain, the old verbiage, through grants and things like that? Are you guys working or in discussions with, maybe you can't talk about it with, other XRPL developers right now that might be working on the hooks aspects and the sidechain stuff? What are the implications to support the network or developers on the network as this type of thing occurs and this integration occurs?
Yeah, I can address that. In short, yes and yes. So that's part of the reason why we're bridging over there, and I kind of mentioned that the last time I spoke there, is we want to collaborate with developers in XRP. Now, we have been talking with a few fairly high-level XRP developers already, thanks to those who helped set that up. I don't want to mention who they are because I haven't asked them if I could, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll just say they're very high up there in the development community of XRP, and they've already given us some advice on how we could do certain integrations, some ideas of what we could do with these bridges back to and from XRPL. Sorry, and I've specifically been looking at the grants program in regards to collaborating with an XRP development team to integrate CMIX into, I'll say, something or several things that will benefit the XRP community greatly, things that they don't currently have in terms of security and privacy. Darren named a few different opportunities that could be had in terms of what could be built and how that would bring value to people on XRPL. Yeah, I don't really want to disclose that yet until we nail it down, but that is the whole purpose. And the XX Foundation actually has our own grants program with several RFPs. Now, request for proposals, if you didn't know the acronym. So one of the potential plans is to take some of those RFPs and collaborate with an XRP developer team to build things that we've already made requests for proposals for and build them within the XRP community instead, and in conjunction with them. And with our grants program and the XRP grants program, I could foresee some pretty cool collaborations. How would I say it? With ample opportunity for people to benefit from it, I'll say. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious from Bernie's standpoint, understanding from the development side. I mean, when you think about potential collaborations and tech stacks on both ends of the spectrum, maybe talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you think exist and some of the opportunities that might exist on the back end of those challenges as well, Bernie.
Yeah, I think the main challenge is the fact that, like you said, all of these new sidechains bridging functionality from XRPL are not defined yet and not approved on mainnet. So we are planning to do the IO on mainnet, of course, and that means we will probably build some sort of more custodial type of bridge in the beginning. And then once that dust settles and if the amendments are approved, then we can start thinking about building a sidechain or federated sidechain, like you said, with witness servers and all of that. So there's definitely a lot to explore there. One application that I've recently found and thought about is that in many of these bridges that are custodial, or even with a witness server, right, you have a server that holds a lot of power. And it's kind of important that you keep that server safe. So if someone knows the IP address of that server, they can try and hack it or log in. So something you can do is, if you send all the transactions from that server to any of the chains it's talking to via CMIX, then it's pretty much impossible for anyone to even find out the IP address of that server. So that's just out off the top of my head, like something that we can offer from CMIX to like any bridge out there in between any chain that works in this way with a custodial like witness server sort of thing. But yeah, like you said, other things are very possible. Bringing this sort of privacy protection to the users, it's the most important thing we always want to work on. And for that, I would be looking at existing XRP wallets and seeing what can we offer to those wallets. Like, can we make the user privacy better? And I like the Zoom app a lot, or I don't know how to say it, Zoom. And they do have this X app thing that developers can easily launch small apps within their like wallet ecosystem. And yeah, there's potentially a way to like leverage that to offer privacy on XRPL transactions like off the bat. Like that would be quite a nice thing to have, I think, as a starting point. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the one, and maybe I have just an off-the-cuff question for you as well, Bernie. When you think about, you know, the way that the way that I understand a witness server or a federated sidechain is essentially like you're launching a brand new layer one that does have a snapshot of kind of what the XRP ledger represents. So obviously you've got the payments and the payment settlements functionality, the DEX aspects, everything that kind of natively exists. But then you can program it in ways that make sense as well. So when you talked about the potentials of launching, from XX's standpoint, launching your own sidechain or witness server, I mean, that's certainly a possibility. But what's the, do you see as much utility as potentially integrating something like CMIX as a layer 2 on top of any of these sidechains, dApps that get integrated in these sidechains as maybe even a potential bigger use case in the future?
Yeah, certainly. Like any dApp, really, if you have to send data from a user to a server, you can use CMIX. Let's just put it that way. So that using CMIX means that when that server sees your data, it doesn't know which user it came from. So the metadata of the user is fully protected. So yeah, like any dApps that could be built on any of these federated sidechains or on leveraging XRPL, we could definitely try and work with teams from that are developing these apps and try to integrate CMIX in the most number of apps we can, right? But yeah, the part about the witness servers, what I was thinking about is even when a bridge is trustless, so you're trying to build a trustless bridge, that means there's no like central custodian that will actually send transactions based on the bridge, but it always need to relay data. So a bridge between two chains you will always need some kind of relayer server that sends the data between both chains. And usually you can have multiple of those servers. And there, the problem you can have is with availability, right? If all of them are down, the bridge is essentially offline. And so that's why I said, like, if you can somehow include like the CMIX privacy protection for these sort of servers, you could have a situation where it becomes much, much harder to find out where these servers actually are. And it would be better to maintain them online and like could improve availability in these bridges. Yeah.
One of the things that I found kind of interesting within the announcement that you guys had is kind of paying attention to future developments within the XRP ledger. So the automated market maker aspects, which, if they get integrated into witness servers or sidechains in ways that make sense. And the statement that you guys released from the PDF was allow our user interface to accept payments for privacy services as needed. And I think that as needed phraseology is pretty important because, different decentralized applications are going to be built out on these witness servers over time. There's going to be aspects of privacy that I would expect some of these applications should have at certain points in the application. Bernie, like paying attention to all the different convergences of technology as we kind of see them coming down the pike. So zero knowledge proofs, all these different aspects. Do you think that it does come down to that programmability standpoint where it's like, okay, we're seeing innovation, there's real development, there's real growth within all these ecosystems. You may not need to use privacy for 4 or 5 different aspects of this application, but here's one aspect of this application that you definitely probably would want to have it. Can you maybe talk about what that, like the programmability aspect, like from an application standpoint, and that verbiage where it says as needed, because you don't need privacy across the board, but I'm rambling, I know, but you kind of get the gist here, like just being able to plug in privacy whenever you need to.
So privacy as needed, right? I don't know, Bernie. Can you guys hear me? Is Bernie's mic on?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So as needed, right? So like I mentioned earlier, some of these fiat on ramps, they want a DEX. They want an automated market maker for the payments, right? So if you were to launch a fiat on ramp that goes through a centralized exchange, right? There's an ask, a bid, and if you have any liquid token or something like that, that could be a huge gap. So a fiat on ramp always wants a decentralized automated market maker at their side, because that's an instantaneous swap. And as soon as they swap the token, the payment's done, right? So that's what we meant for privacy as needed. So for example, if I wanted to use proxy and there's postage applied to it, and I didn't want to invest in XX, I just wanted to use proxy, and that's
Aaron,
all.
can you describe what proxy is for everybody down here?
Yeah, so proxy is a way to hide your IP when you ask a blockchain to do something. If I ask to send XRP to Solomon, sometimes people are logging your IP. Proxy is a trustless way for me to send XRP from my wallet for it to get to Solomon's wallet without my IP being logged. And that's different than it being not on a transparent ledger. So it's on a transparent ledger, right? But the RPC cannot log my IP address. So that's to clarify. It's not mixing your transactions like Tornado Cash. It's taking away the data. And what's scary about, IP addresses being logged is, it could create like your whole financial history within crypto if they were able to link a few of these IP addresses, right? So you want to be able to not have your IP address logged, right? So if I wanted to pay for an app like that, and I just wanted to use it one time and that's it, I could use one of these fiat on-ramp services that take a credit card or a debit card. They even talked about taking cash, but they said that it could do that very easily with decentralized automated market maker services, not centralized services. It's possible, but they would prefer it being automated market maker. I assume things like Bitcoin could be done because of its liquidity, or XRP could be done because of its liquidity. So the bigger the coins, yeah, maybe there's an opportunity there, but for ours, right, we want to be able to take fiat so people could use dApps on demand without necessarily having to be an investor. They get to buy the utility.
Is there anything that anybody up here thinks that may have been missed within the announcement? I should preface this. by saying that these spaces are going to be every single week now, and we're going to be talking about multiple different aspects of privacy, as well as recent updates within XX. I see Daniel down there in the chat as well. Daniel, certainly one of the developers within the XRP Ledger ecosystem. So even getting additional developers up here and discussing what's going on within the XRPL, seeing if we can create synergies. But did I miss anything, or did Darren miss anything within?
I wanted to maybe back up a step, and we've been talking a lot about what we've been doing. We've been talking about CMIX, and I think we may have made some assumptions. So I appreciate, it just tipped me off when Darren was talking about what proxy does, and hiding an IP address if someone's sending a transaction, which it certainly does. So I just back up a step on that and try to quickly explain what is CMIX, like what does it actually do. So I'll put it in I'll try to make it simple. So everybody in the crypto space, or at least most people, probably have an idea of what Tor is. It's a mix network. You could think of CMIX as a much, much better version of Tor. The architecture of it is much more trustless and decentralized and less prone to the certain types of compromise that have been attributed to Tor, for instance. Not to knock Tor. In its time, it was necessary and helpful and amazing, but CMIX is a much better mixed network designed by David Chaum. And essentially it's like a digital blender, right? It mixes messages of data, or data, I should say, and it strips it of all metadata, which you could read about it on, we have an entire white paper on it. But that's essentially what it does, is it's like a blender. So the more people that use it, the more anonymized and private and thus secure that data becomes. And it happens really fast through something called pre-computation. So Bernie, I'm sure, would explain it much, much better than I can, but that's essentially it, is we pre-compute all the cryptography with a group of 5 randomly chosen nodes, and then that data gets sent across the network, and it cuts the line between the sender and the receiver so that that data is all encrypted and the metadata is stripped from it. Sorry if that's a little technical for people. I tried to keep it simple, but I thought that would be necessary to explain to people that have no idea what it is. So there you go.
Well, also to piggyback off of that, I see a lot of people conflating XX with a privacy coin like Monero or something. That's not true. XX is not a privacy coin per se. You're not just like hiding the coin transactions aren't hidden. There's a privacy network, and the XX token is paid to access that privacy network, and the metadata is stripped and all the things that Aaron's talked about. But the XX network itself is a substrate based chain that's transparent. You could build things like a DEX or an NFT marketplace, any of those things. So just to point that out.
Yeah, that's really important. Thanks, Darren.
Yeah, I was looking for something to pin regarding CMIX. But I think, today's space was definitely kind of about just kind of a definition of the announcement that you guys had made on the 8th of August. I do want to kind of reiterate here that I think a lot of this space right now, given where we're at, it should be about continuity, and these spaces will be every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be dealing in certainly updates, network updates within the XX ecosystem. Love to get some different guests on here as well, as they make sense over time, and really kind of focus on, I think even Aaron, describing what CMIX does. I think it's part of that continuity journey is making sure that people understand that privacy is very important, especially where we're headed as far as digitization is concerned, and just driving that home and showcasing the value and services of the XX ecosystem and the privacy aspects. Again, not financial advice to anybody, but trying to educate people as much as possible. and plan to do these every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys have any questions, you can drop them down in the chat while we do these spaces. If not, I kind of always like to close these out from a hosting standpoint by, forward-looking statements. What are you excited about within the next handful of months within the ecosystem or the XX ecosystem or the ecosystem as a whole? I'll start with Darren here. Maybe from XX's standpoint, what are you looking forward to as far as like kind of the wider ecosystem of digital assets and innovation?
I want to see what CMIX is capable of doing if it gets into the hands of other ecosystems like the XRP network, right? Yeah, you give privacy on demand, it becomes the layer of the crypto world, but also it's completely usable for any centralized system. But if you're able to have this layer of privacy in the Web3 world and having different chains interact with each other, sort of as like Bernie described with the witness servers, you're able to introduce privacy where I think it's overlooked a lot of places. I mean, just from a standpoint of the UNLs with the XRP ledger, I'm told that they're hidden behind a VPN, right? But I mean, if somebody really wanted to find out the IP addresses of those people, right? Like, privacy could have much more importance in infrastructure, and if it's completely trustless privacy and you remove all middlemen from it, there's no central entity to fail. So it's a centralized type of system where it could be introduced on an infrastructure level, which I think would be amazing to start seeing chains actually have infrastructure with privacy embedded into the infrastructure, and therefore making the chain much more secure if you're unable to figure out who the nodes are, right? So like, just with the example of the XRP ledger, there's other chains out there that may not necessarily have, and there may be certain areas where it could be targeted. And to bring clarity so a witness server, if people are confused about that, right, is tracking two different ledgers. It's seeing that this account over here has 1 million XX tokens, and this account on this ledger also has 1 million tokens, right? So it kind of makes sure that both sides are equal at all time, and if one of them moves over, then it's able to go to the main network and confirm that it goes to the main network. So that's what we're talking about. So if that remains private, and that remains, if you're able to do that trustlessly, right? It's not a central entity that fails. It's a decentralized type of situation, which the guys, well, I won't say their name, but some people are working towards that in the XRP ledger. So we're hoping to see that come to fruition.
Aaron, any forward-looking statements? What are you excited about within XX or the wider ecosystem as well?
Yeah, actually, I guess I'll take it here, which I'll be announcing later today in our text channels like Telegram and Discord and such. We're going to be putting out a pretty major update to our community about what we're going to be focusing on over the next 3 to 6 months. And it will incorporate a lot of things that we talked about today, but a lot of other things as well. The goal of the XX Foundation is obviously to empower people that are within our own community building things on the XX network, but also through CMIX in conjunction with the postage mechanism that we have. We really want to expand into other networks to bring that value to other ecosystems and to collaborate with other developers. So there's a pretty major announcement coming out on that, or an update, I should say, about what that's going to look like for us, and I'm excited for that to go out. It's been a pretty major undertaking from the foundation to make this all happen, and yeah, so there's more to come on that, but that's ultimately our goal, is to empower people within our own community within the XX network, and then to branch out and start actually bringing the value that we offer to other ecosystems so that they can benefit from it as well. So
That's awesome. And Bernie, any forward-looking statements that you might have? What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to within the ecosystem?
Yeah, just trying to get CMix in as many hands as possible, essentially, of other developers. Because right now, what we've developed so far, it's brand new. It's something no one else has done, and it's quite complex. So only the developers that are actively working within XX network have done some apps with CMix, specifically XX Messenger, Speakeasy, and Proxy. So it will be really nice to like get more developers across different ecosystems working together with us to try and bring these privacy solutions to other chains. Yeah,
that's fantastic. No, really appreciate you guys being up here today and taking time out of your busy schedules. Again, we're going to be doing the Privacy Matters podcast every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. But as major updates from the XX ecosystem occur, certainly we'll have kind of a full panel up here. Really want the continuity aspects to drive home, start educating people around the importance of privacy, how XX can facilitate privacy aspects, how the blockchain aspects can be utilized, how the CMix aspects can be utilized on top of multiple different ecosystems and blockchains. So really appreciate your guys' time up here today. For Darren, Aaron, and Bernie, thank you guys for joining today, and we'll certainly be doing this again next week as well. So pay attention. Early next week, we'll announce the space. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks. And anybody who wants to chat further, like if there's anybody, developers that are interested in knowing more about CMix, how it works, how you could integrate it, feel free, reach out to myself or Bernie, and we would love to meet with you. So thanks a lot. And thanks, Darren and Ryan, for hosting this. It's, in voice from our channel. So I appreciate that.
Alrighty, so that was, some developers from the XX network, some of the creators, and you had King Solomon and XRP Darren hosting, and yeah, hopefully that was informative for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I always good just now hearing that we're going to be hearing about XX and XRPL being correlated, more than ever. Right. And then eventually also hearing just about how XX is building on not only XRPL, that being their first bridge. So that they're definitely going to want to make sure they make that successful. But hearing about, connections with other blockchain platforms. And I'm interested to hear if they, what XX can maybe do for legacy platforms. Is there an interoperability between XX network with not only just blockchains and providing privacy for blockchains, but providing privacy for legacy systems as well? Does it have to be just a distributed ledger technology, that type of stuff? XX private, but XRPL grasses you up. There we go. Bullish AF. What's up, Inspector Music? I mean, I'm excited to just, I'm happy to be, aware of this project in the early days. And, I'm happy that there's other people out there, like King Solomon and XRP Darren who are on it. Right, in terms of what's going on here with XX. And once again, this is a crypto that's at 10 cents, and this space probably does, I'm not saying the price is just going to go up from here, right? But this space and this connection has brought a whole new, speculation. Like, I thought originally XRP community would be in on XX network because of the Chris Larson investment in Ripple Labs, and now them deciding to be their first, be the first bridge here for the XX network on the XRPL. At $1 billion total supply at 10 cents. This is early days for this crypto. I'm interested to see where it goes. Maybe it goes to 5 cents. Maybe it goes to a penny. But, it's not even a year old yet for the project, right? I think it just passed a year, actually. So it's just a 1 year old, and so far on the year, it's 67% down on the year. And who knows what we're at officially. It's bottom. It's an early days crypto, but I'm very excited to see where this one could be going in the future. Give me a second here. There we go. Thing was falling apart here. So yeah, XX Network, excited for this project. Looking forward to what they could be bringing to the XRPL. I mean, XRP back at 50 cents. Good to see. You know, still a lot of good opportunities there for other cryptos though, right? SHX creeping back up to the 400. Let's go SHX. Algorand, you know, at 9 cents here, looking delicious. Quant under $100, HBAR under 6 cents, Avalanche under $12, 57% down on the year. Those are some crazy deep reds, without a doubt. And let's just go through some, you know, quick news here. We got Stronghold talking about regulation. Regulation doesn't have to be complicated. The right payments provider can bridge the gap between your business operations and the ever-changing regulatory world. Learn how Stronghold supports payment compliance in our latest blog. So that's good to hear about Stronghold and payment compliance. We are debunking common crypto misconceptions, 5 crypto myths no business leaders should believe. So Ripple, you know, debunking all the crypto myths. It's a banker's coin. It was pre-mined. There's no real utility. R3, Corda is paving the way for smart contracts. According to Gartner Inc.'s 2023 hype cycle for blockchain and Web3, learn more about Corda and its smart contracts capabilities. I'm having a feeling that that has something to do with maybe, you know, XDC and what they're doing with smart contracts, and of course XRPL and hooks. But yeah, XDC probably doing a lot of good things there with Corda and smart contracts, without a doubt, and the Corda settler. Bank of Japan SBI officially unveils XRP lending. This could be substantial, as that would mean Japan is expecting the use of XRP for institutional payments. And looky here, what do we got? 0.1%. 4% into Doge. Looks like they're really, no, I don't think they're overexposed with Doge, but I like seeing Stellar. I like seeing Stellar and, you know, XRP there with Doge and Bitcoin. This is absurd, by the way. Doge and Bitcoin. Are you freaking kidding me, Doge? Are you kidding me, Doge? Micro DCA. Yeah, it could be a slow burn. I hear you. XRP private, but XRP grasses you up. Exactly. There we go. We got MasterCard announced a partnership with Ripple to make workable CBDCs using RippleNet. Let's go. How anyone could be bearish on Ripple or not understand the gravity of what's happening is beyond me. And there you go, right here. MasterCard, Ripple. Inaugural set of partners includes CBDC platform Ripple, blockchain and Web3 software company Consensus. So Ethereum, guys, I don't know, man. Ethereum is so confusing. It's so freaking confusing. Like, why is it getting so much love and it's so expensive? It makes no sense. But man, you're getting like some major partners, right? You got some major connections with Ethereum, and it's hard to overlook. And, you know, maybe the gas fees, and I don't know what's going on here with ETH2 and everything that's going on, but man, it's just crazy seeing the level of connections that they have. It makes absolutely no sense. And maybe they're just doing it so they can throw a lot of people off the XRP trail, perhaps. But damn, freaking hell, man. Ethereum is just so gross, dude. It's just so gross. But it, you know, just like Doge is like, how are these things, and Bitcoin too, it's like, how are these things still sticking around? It's crazy. Brazil's central bank has unveiled its selection of 16 proposals to participate in the pilot phase of the Direct CBDC project. This notable roster of participants includes prominent names such as Nubank, Microsoft, Visa, and Settle. Brazilian CBDC pilot phase attracts Nubank, Microsoft, Visa, and Settle among leading participants. We got Volante Technologies about their fireside chat about instant payment regulatory insights, talking with Unicredit and CBI, talking about instant payments regulation in Italy and across the EU. We love seeing Volante talking with all these entities, including FedNow and, you know, the Federal Reserve and so on and so forth. Interesting insights on the progress that ISO 20022 based SEPA request to pay is making in Europe. However, the EPC SEPA webinar also makes clear that there is still a long way to go before the new form of payments is widely accepted. So maybe we're just a long way to go. Maybe we are just super early in all this, you guys. So this means FedNow waiting for ISO 20022 to go live. Then we'll join the FedNow and we'll roll on. Well, ISO 20022 is live, but the Bundesbank itself will not send account statement messages in ISO 20022 format until November of 2023. So are we waiting for November of 2023, you guys, to really start ramping up this adoption? XRP gentleman saying, I don't believe in coincidences. And isn't that funny? It's somebody underwater, right? Underwater. Rising Phoenix. Crazy. Crazy, right? August 26th. We'll see what ends up happening. SEC expected to approve an Ethereum futures ETF application. My lord, what's going on? XRP Darren saying, there's an XRP ETF on Switzerland Stock Exchange 6 if you are unaware. And there it is. Right? 21 shares, Ripple XRP ETP. Ripple Securities. There we go. Exciting times. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another DL Talk. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that XX Spaces. Excited to have the XX network on the XRPL. That is for sure. Much love to the Blue Crew. Much love to the Green Giants. Much love to the Ledger Citizens. Thanks to any new subscribers, any new members, and thanks for hitting the like, guys. It helps out the channel a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Your support, the momentum we're building here, guys. It helps us just keep doing what we're doing, and I am grateful. Thank you, BTC community. Thank you, XRP community. Thank you, Blue Crew. Thank you, Green Giants. Thank you, Ledger Citizens. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Much love, Blue Crew. We got the eye of the tiger, and we keep it crypto. Adios.
Look at the moon.
Oh my god, this is definitely.
This is